at this point, I'm just wondering, like, how can I get the minors counsel to just stop hating me for no reason?
Okay, we're back. I'm attorney Vince Davis. This is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win, and I'm joined by my co-host, Aaron Carranza. Aaron, you ready to do another call?
Yes, we have Tammy from California. Tammy, do you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Hi. I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
Well, there's so much I could say about this case. It's been ongoing, like 3-year CPS case that it turned into like a co-parenting case. And I guess at this point, I'm just wondering, like, how can I get the minors counsel to just stop hating me for no reason? Because like minors counsel is like, she's never like allowed to talk to me or like get to know me or know anything about me. And my children are too young to where she's like never talked to them. And so yeah, she's like basically, giving her opinion of the case and like just really negative towards, just very hateful towards me. And I don't know what to do. My oldest son, he's like teenaged, and he would like try to speak for him and his younger brothers, and she basically is trying to like get him to have his own attorney now. Like she's trying to like because he would like message her and give her his opinion and be like, hey, get my brothers back with me. And so she was really in favor of that for a long time. And then long story short, like that happened, and then there was like a little hiccup in the case, and we're trying to get our 50-50 back. But yeah, like I just don't, it's just a little bit difficult because minors counsel never gets to, the parents don't get to talk to them. So I'm just wondering, is there any way I can like, get on her good side or appeal to the minors counsel? How can I get through to the lawyer representing my children?
That's a really good question. And unfortunately, I don't have a really good answer. And I'm going to tell you why. Being a minors counsel is a very unique position. Now, I did way back when I first started doing juvenile dependency work in Los Angeles County, there was a panel, and on this panel, you would represent mothers, fathers, relatives, or minors. So there was a time that I represented minors as well. Now the system that they have really doesn't, usually just represent the parents, and they have their own firms, minors firms in Los Angeles County at least, that just represent children. And one of the things that I always thought, this is just my personal opinion, that if you don't represent parents, you're not going to do a good job representing minors.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Right? Just like if you just represented
everything right.
Right. Just like if you just represented minors, you probably wouldn't be a good parents lawyer. And I've been doing this about 3 decades now, and I see a lot of judgmental minors counsel. Now, don't get me wrong, there are good minors counsel. All right. The problem is that when you get someone that's not so good, it kind of ruins it for the other ones. You can make a motion to disqualify a minors counsel for different reasons. And I would say that if you felt someone was being non-objective, that might be a basis for making the motion. However, in your particular case, there might be an easier way. You just told me that the minor was representing all three children and now is going to declare a conflict and have the older child being represented by someone else. Well,
Could that be beneficial?
yeah, could be, especially if the three children have different opinions or different goals or different wants from the
No.
case. But
They all want to be with mom.
okay, but watch this. Listen to this very carefully. The older child, if the older child gets an attorney, a different attorney, that older child and or that new attorney could object to the minor's counsel for the younger children staying on the case. Because there's an inherent conflict of interest. It's probably an actual conflict of interest that can't even be waived. So, in reality, under law in California, it would be my opinion that that minor's counsel would have to bow out of the case completely.
And let the new attorney
let the new attorney take the 12-year-old and let another new attorney take the younger ones. You know, I've heard, you know, I used to do court-appointed work, 2 decades ago. And you know, people are people, and unfortunately that comes with good stuff and it comes with bad stuff. There's something in the case that happened or allegedly happened that the minor's counsel thinks, ill of you. Now, you can talk to the minor. You can talk to the minor's counsel if your attorney allows it and the minor's counsel wants to do it, right? When I was a minor's counsel,
really, there could be.
When I was a minor's counsel,
how would I do that? Yeah, share your story, please.
When I was a minor's counsel, I wanted to talk to as many people as possible.
Yeah. So how would I ask for that?
You ask your attorney, but here's the sticking point. Your attorney could say yes, but the minor's counsel could say, I don't want to talk to her. She has no obligation to talk to you.
Yeah, there's so many things, like, all the parenting classes, all the, working for Head Start, all these things I've done during the case that are so positive.
Yeah.
And I just want her to know those things, and I don't think they come across. And she a lot of times just has just this one opinion.
Yeah, usually those types of things aren't the reason why they dislike you or would make them like you. Okay? So it's something else that's more personal. And maybe you can figure it out, maybe you can't. A lot of times I don't even try to figure out things like that.
Well, I've seen her, talking to the dad in the case, and then she would say, I don't want to talk to the parents, when I would see her sitting outside the courtroom talking to him. Yeah. And so I know it's possible, where she's willing to talk to the parents. So maybe I could ask for that. And I also am wondering, the judge mentioned, hey, maybe, your my son's actually 13. She said maybe he could meet with this new lawyer who's actually really far away from where we live, but just talk to him, and then maybe, find out he doesn't need this new lawyer, and then go back to, the minor's counsel who has, who's representing my other two sons. So would that be beneficial to keep her, kind of settle it back down and say, hey, no, just represent all three and let's get back to the co-parenting, or is it going to be,
well,
1 minute.
Going to a new attorney could just go in all these different tangents and
Tammy,
kind of
based upon what you've told me, you might be better off with new attorneys. But this is something you have to discuss with your current attorney, right? Because, we've been having a 5 or 6 minute conversation, and I'm sure there's a lot more that's going on in this case than a 5 or 6 minute conversation. So what I would do is I'd talk to your attorney and probably, follow that attorney's advice. Okay. Hey, Tammy, I have to go now that we've reached the end of the show. I want to thank you for calling in. Thank you for sharing your story. And call us in 3 or 4 weeks and give us an update on what is going on. I want to thank everyone for listening tonight. Remember, our show is now 3 hours long. It's Saturday Night Live with Vince Davis and Eric Carranza. We'll see you next week on the radio.